Hi, this is Troy from Now with Troy, and today I've got some exciting news. We're going to jump into virtual agent, and to jump deep into virtual agent, I've brought in some help. So let me squish and make some space. Meet Pedro Soto. Pedro is from Westbury Analytics. Hi, Pedro.
Hi, Troy.
Thanks for joining. Westbury and Third Era work together as partners. As Third Era, all we do is ServiceNow, but at Westbury Analytics, what you're going to learn today is Westbury dives deep into intelligence on the Now platform. So I'm pleased to have Pedro with me. And Pedro, as we've been talking, one of the things that we keep coming back on as we talk with different clients is as clients lean into virtual agent, and virtual agent is everywhere, right? As we lean into virtual agent, we're seeing a lot of our clients stumble or hit hurdles shortly after they go live. Do you have some patterns? Why is that happening?
Sure enough, what's interesting in the whole virtual agent and artificial intelligence, machine learning value that ServiceNow has brought under the Now Intelligence platform is that it can really have some serious beneficial impacts and cost reductions in customer experience.
Right.
However, ServiceNow has been fairly proactive, I would say aggressive, in the message that it'll work out of the box. And it'll work out of the box to a certain degree. But the
Right.
truth is that to properly implement this solution, you need two different skill sets. And here lies one of the major reasons for the challenges, the rough patches that clients hit, especially the commercial accounts, the
Mm-hmm.
smaller accounts that don't have a lot of resources and different individuals to embody these different skill sets because they're really different.
Right.
Most of us normal human beings can't do both well at the same time. One of them is analyze business process, and from that analysis, extract a design model and design document that a technical implementer with a developer background would be able to use in configuring the virtual agent designer, training the natural language understanding models, and leveraging all of the other AI solutions and tools that are in there to make virtual agents successful. And so that's one of the really major sources of why clients will just get very frustrated and hit rough patches.
Right. Yeah. The combination of those skills of being able to really understand kind of the human interaction and the human side of that, as well as dive deep into the VA workflows and the VA configuration. It's like finding the unicorn, as they say, right, or the black swan, depending on your author, your book reference, right? Finding that unique
Yep.
combination is tough in smaller organizations. But that leads to
Yes.
another.
And
Go
well,
ahead.
what I just wanted to say, what we've observed, especially in the commercials, in the
Mm-hmm.
smaller organizations, I'm talking 5,000 employees and under,
Right.
is the knee jerk or the reflex from senior management is, oh, it's out of the box. It's how the platform administrator implemented. And so what they'll do is, well, first they'll freak out the platform administrator, then they'll go find a developer that they think can be up to test, and they embark on it. And
Right.
so they're missing that critical skill set of the analysis and design. It's like you wouldn't go look for a business process analyst, as good as they may be, and say, let's go implement VA and expect them to do the technical implementation. It's
Right.
that.
Right. And I think it's worth expanding on that a little bit more. It is a unique skill set, and I'd even say discipline, to do that analysis and design in the VA space or in the intelligence space. Can you expand a little bit on why that's so challenging?
Sure, because historically speaking, when you analyze process,
Mm-hmm.
it's for a very different purpose than implementing an artificial intelligence driven solution. Right. So
Sure.
you analyze business processes is to optimize, to see where there may be gaps, to create and capture a snapshot of how processes are done. So at some point later on, you can improve them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the kind of analysis that we're looking for. that's required so that the technical resource that's going to configure and implement virtual agent and all its components can actually make use of the data. What we're looking at here actually is to understand and represent in a way that the technical implementer can use it what's going on in the interaction in the service desk between the end users and the people on the service desk.
Right.
Very different outcome.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not business process improvement. It's not business process restructuring or reinvention, right? It's walking alongside that almost. You know, if you picture the swim lanes and people, it's it's having someone that can understand that process flow and what those interactions are like,
Yeah.
with the basis in VA to figure out how that could change and really influence those process areas. Very, very different
Right.
skill set, right?
Yep.
Let's circle back a little bit more. One of the things that we talked about and touched on is the difference between, you know, the smaller organizations and the larger enterprise. And so let's dive into that a little bit more, kind of as the last one. And so as organizations,
Sure.
you know, depending on your size, and you're thinking about VA or you're hitting that stumbling block in it, what are some things that they can do and understanding how that changes from small scale to enterprise?
Sure. Yeah. So, like we were saying, the larger organizations tend to have the resources, you know, group of analysts with that skill set, group of technical developers with that skill set.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge in the larger organizations, we all know because they're so large, so many competing interests, you're going to have a tendency to have politics, the friction that comes with that. And the tension, and then the lack of focus because they've got so many competing demands, just
Right.
like smaller organizations do, but they also have more resources going different ways. So it's really
Sure.
a challenge to get the focus to drive it quickly.
Right.
When you look at the kinds of beneficial impact and cost reduction and customer experience improvements in a large organization at the scale, and you look at a delay of implementing VA properly of 6 months, 9 months, a year, maybe even more, that's some serious benefit you're foregoing. And so what we tend to see is when you bring a partner that is focused exclusively and almost primarily on implementing virtual agent and everything that we've talked about, the probability of those things becoming impediments goes really down.
Right.
Because those organizations can bring the focus, can just help overcome the friction that you find in politics.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, let's expand on that a little bit more. You know, as we're both part of Third Era and Westbury, we are, you know, in part of organizations that want to come alongside our clients as trusted advisors. You know, at Third Era, all we do is ServiceNow, and we have depth across the platform. But one of the things that we've partnered with Westbury, so as you're part of our team, is that incredible depth in that area around the platform intelligence. Talk a little bit more about the value as an external party to come in. You know, I see it all the time as you know, looking across the platform. But talk to us about that perspective for organizations to bring in that third party perspective around virtual agent.
Yeah, by having a partner that in this case is very focused exclusively on Now Intelligence, which comprehends performance analytics, virtual agent, and predictive intelligence, all of the artificial intelligence and machine learning assets,
Right.
you get the best of breed in terms of competency, best practices, and experience. And that shortens the time to value that. And it smooths out all these rough patches that you can get into when you try and do it yourself.
Right. So true. We'll put contact information wherever you see these videos. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, Troy Pasola at Third Era, or Pedro Soto as part of Westbury Analytics. Glad to hear back from you. If this was helpful, if you have other questions, comment, and we look forward to interacting with you. But I hope this has helped you think through some other things to look at how you're implementing virtual agent, the skills, the personality traits, and the disciplines you need, as well as looking for a third party advisor that can come in to help you along the way too. So again, Pedro, thank you for your time today, and thanks for watching this. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Troy.